Kelsey Russo, The Athletic. J.B., what stood out about Isaac tonight, especially on the offensive end?
His activity. Obviously, the work that he's put in to work on his shot, but the layups that he was able to create, the plays that he was able to make early in transition, the passes that he was able to make for his teammates. I thought he really did a really good job of playing the entire game, on both ends of the floor.
How did you like him next to Darius and Donovan out there?
I thought he did a good job. Again, I think, he found his spots. He made people pay when they overhelped, whether it was the open catch and shoots or whether it was the penetration or the cuts, I should say. But again, I thought he played a really well-rounded game.
And then just the scratch for Karras, was that just for?
Yeah, we just wanted to give Karras a day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Karras has done every single rep the entire training camp. We just wanted to give him, give him a day because he's earned it.
Thank you.
Marla right now, Akron Journal. Jetty really got hot too. I mean, was it almost like the competition for the job sort of ramped up here?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we wanted to do, and what we set out to do was play Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. I do not think that in the first two games we played, consistently enough Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. And I think everybody ramped it up a little bit. You look at all the guys that took challenges defensively. We know what Jetty's capable of. And he was a big part of that. He gives you that spark, he gives you that energy. But it's not just his shot-making ability where he helps us. He can get in passing lanes, he can get deflections, he can get out in transition. He can guard his guy. So that's what we're looking for from Jetty is, contributions all throughout the stat sheet, whether the shots are going or not.
Evan Dammer on that Bolton. J.B., was there any reason why Mamadi was one of the first players off the bench tonight for you?
We're down a ton of fours. But, that first Philadelphia game where we put him in, we loved his energy. We loved how hard he competed. And that's who he's been all throughout practice and training camp. So, that's what this league is about, is when your opportunity presents itself, have you done the right things to put yourself in a position to be successful? And Mamadi has been doing those things, and he had a huge impact on the game, obviously.
And he's one of the training camp invites. He could be fighting for this 15th roster spot you guys have. Obviously, a ton of energy all preseason, but tonight you really saw it. How impressed were you guys overall with just his performance and just the energy and hustle he played with?
He was impressive on both sides of the floor. You know what I mean? Like, he's got that range that we were talking about, that, that 6'9", 6'10", rangy Swiss Army knife type of guy who can guard multiple positions. Obviously, he makes shots that spreads the floor even more. And then that, shows all the other things that he can do, how he rebounds the basketball, runs the floor, all those things. So, it's the consistency in that. And, he's a great dude to be around every day. Even when he wasn't getting minutes or whatever it was, like, his attitude never changed. So he's the type of guy who you want to reward.
Thank you. Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. J.B., how ready is this team for regular season basketball?
I think we're close. We have a few more days to kind of tighten some things up. Still trying to implement some guys who have been missing for a little bit. But I think we've got enough time so that we'll be ready to go. But, we're not going to be a finished product a week from now. Right? There's still things where, situations we have to go through and experiences we have to have as a team to get to where, ultimately we're at our best. So I don't want to put a ceiling on, Toronto and be like, that's our best night. We're going to continue to get better as the season goes on.
What stood out to you about the defensive effort against Trae Young tonight?
I thought our guys did a great job. I think Darius, to have to carry such a load, was absolutely, fantastic the way that he got into him. He guarded, all night long. That was his matchup. Our big guys did a great job of supporting him because that is not an easy one-on-one job for anybody. But I think it was a real great team effort to go out and try to slow him down as best we possibly could. But again, it was Darius initially with the support of his big guys behind him.
Brendan Gulick, Sports Illustrated Media Group. What did Atlanta present you that was different from what you saw the first couple games that you're grateful for having seen and recognized?
I mean, obviously the two, pick and roll guys that they have, the way that they can stretch the floor and space the floor. I think one of the areas where, we did not do a great job was on the offensive glass, or defensive board, excuse me. Atlanta is, a really elite offensive rebounding team, so they put that type of pressure on you. So that's something that was a little bit different, and again, an area that we got to continue to focus on and improve. But again, I think there's a little bit more pace in what they were doing or trying to do as far as getting up and down the floor. So I think it was good for us overall.
Just to reference kind of what Evan said about Mamadi and how well he played, how much of the decision on that roster spot is predicated based on purely how you play in a preseason game versus practice and all the other things that go into fighting for that spot?
I mean, you try to always, whenever you're making decisions, you look at the total body of work, right? We know and we've seen in this league guys have great moments and then couldn't sustain it. So what we try to do is, whether it's drafting a player, signing a player, keeping a player, it's like the total body of work. It's the history of the player. It's what he's done in the league before. It's what he's done in camp and the games, and try to keep it all in perspective that way.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, J.B.
What's up, Chris?
How much of a point of emphasis was it in the start of the third quarter to get Donovan going after a chilly shooting start?
I mean, it was our intent as a coaching staff. Again, building a relationship and building trust. The first play out was for him, just to let him know, how much we trust in him, regardless of, if he misses, 10 in a row, we still believe in what he's capable of. And I think it's important for us to just build that relationship. It's easy to say things. It's more difficult to go out and do it. So I think those actions mean more than the words we give him.